Serena Williams criticized the New York Times after it mistakenly printed a picture of her sister, Venus Williams, and labeled it as Serena. Worse, the Times then sent an apology letter to Wendy Williams.
I'm glad I didn't tell that joke. A new study finds that young adults with depression have a higher risk of dementia later in life, which explains Billie Eilish's upcoming album, Where Am I?
Dubai has opened the Museum of the Future, which attempts to show what the world will be like in 50 years. And let's just say the museum does not feature a polar bear exhibit. It's a dumb joke. It was reported that at least 139 people around the country have said they became sick after eating the breakfast cereal Lucky Charms. Well, 1 or 2 people getting sick could be a coincidence, but 139? That's tragically suspicious. Senator Mitch McConnell, seen here watching the Oscars in memoriam package, reportedly said that his no vote on Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court nomination was not based on race or gender, but on Ketanji's refusal to answer his question, "Can I touch your hair?"
Wildlife officials in Tennessee have captured a 500-pound black bear living on a college campus. A black bear that, let's face it, took the spot of more deserving white and Asian bears. A sheriff's officer in Indiana went into an elementary school to jokingly hand out tickets to students using the phrase 6'7". Everyone had a good laugh. Then he pulled out his gun and said, "Now tell me what it means." Warner Brothers is producing a new movie in which Superman is black. In this version, black Superman's kryptonite is an honest day's work. Whoa! Whoa! New York City will require all children over the age of 5 to show proof of vaccination before dining indoors or going to an entertainment venue. Because if there's one thing a 5-year-old can do, it's keep track of a small piece of paper. During the State of the Union, Trump also attacked California for refusing to cooperate with ICE agents, saying this.
The state of California passed an outrageous law declaring their whole state to be a sanctuary for criminal illegal immigrants.
I'm sorry, a sanctuary? Sounds like someone's been listening to their old Outkast albums. By the way, Mr. President, I'm just curious, what country are those sanctuary cities in?
The United States.
Then Trump visited the Centers for Disease Control and bragged about his knowledge of the coronavirus, saying this.
Every one of these doctors said, "How do you know so much about this? Maybe I have a natural ability. Maybe I should have done that instead of running for president."
Oh, my God. We're all going to die. What does that mean? He has a natural ability for coronavirus? I don't know, guys. I mean, maybe Trump's born with it, or
maybe it's brain disease.
During a press conference, President Trump denied claims that he uses racial slurs in private. And in Trump's defense, I think a lot of times people just assume Trump is being racist because the way he says any word makes it sound like a racial slur. Take a listen to these.
Puerto Rico. Jewish people.
The media. Mexican woman.
China.
Blacks. Obama. Merry Christmas.
Melania.
Producers for this year's Oscars announced that presenters will include John Travolta and Lupita Nyong'o, or as Travolta calls her, the wickedly talented Lucretia Barnabas. A new report shows that during the pandemic, meth users met online to use the drug together, mostly on the popular meth user app, Tooth Grinder.
During his State of the Union address, Trump gave a medal to Rush Limbaugh and celebrated the creation of the Space Force, a moment that was predicted by a Mad Lib I did in 1992. Trump also railed against public schools, calling them failing government schools. Okay, but you went to private school and you don't even know where Kansas City is.
A video has gone viral of a mysterious Dorito-shaped aircraft flying over Area 51. It's called a triangle, fat ass. A woman in Maryland graduated from college a day after her 82nd birthday. Apparently, it took her so long because she's very, very dumb. I'm doing another one. A woman in Maryland graduated from college a day after her 82nd birthday, but I heard they only passed her because her roommate died.
The Archdiocese of New York announced that it will set up a $300 million fund for victims of church sexual abuse. And yet I get nothing for keeping my mouth shut and taking it like a champ?
You should have wrote some jokes for me to tell. Looks like you got more.
Well, during a press conference celebrating his first year in office, President Trump said that God was very proud of the job he's doing as president. Trump added that God was probably looking up at us right now, smiling from horn to hoof. Also, remember when President Trump straight up told us he was going to hell?
I think I'm not maybe heaven bound.
But he thinks that after this week, God is back on board.
Singer R. Kelly was found guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking this week, but won't be sentenced until next May, after R. Kelly's lawyers successfully negotiated one more school year. In the wake of the R. Kelly verdict, there's a growing movement online to force music streaming services to remove his music. I mean, after all, streaming is basically what got him in trouble in the first place.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, seen here waving COVID into the club. He attacked Disney for opposing the state's Don't Say Gay bill, calling the company a woke corporation. Disney denied the claims of wokeness with roughly 90 years of cartoons. Well, it's officially... He did nothing wrong. And before I go, I just thought of another punchline for that Black Superman story. Black Superman will be referred to as the Man of Steel, spelled S-T-E-A-L. Jenny Thomas, who's begging you to notice the scarf. So she can say, oh, this old thing? Reportedly told the committee that her husband was unaware of her involvement in challenges to the 2020 election, and they never discuss any case before the court. And if there's one thing I believe, it's that this guy doesn't talk to his wife. Southwest Airlines has introduced a new feature on its app that lets passengers track their bags. Southwest, why don't you tell us where your bag is? Boeing announced that the head of their troubled 737 MAX program is leaving the company after he was sucked out of an emergency exit.
A Washington, D.C. art school is postponing renaming its theater after alumni Dave Chappelle following his Netflix special controversy. Well, of course, because God forbid you should name a building after someone problematic in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, my old high school insists on keeping the Michael Chase Sucks Butt bathroom stall.
A group of hikers in Great Britain had to be rescued when they got lost after taking psychedelic mushrooms. More embarrassing, they never actually left the house. And police in Australia arrested a man after he was caught at a bus stop masturbating for over an hour. Australia, where the police let you finish.
A stone vial discovered in Iran contained a red cosmetic that experts say was likely used as lipstick nearly 4,000 years ago by an ancient skank. Isn't that fascinating, Colin?
I'm learning a lot. Trump's Board of Peace consists of countries such as Russia and Saudi Arabia, which is like if Law and Order SVU starred Diddy. This is a lot of legal trouble for any president. I mean, I'm no lawyer, but neither is Trump's lawyer. This week, Michael Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in prison, and he claimed he only committed his crimes out of a blind loyalty to Trump. But Cohen was clearly a crook before he met Donald Trump. You know how I know? He was hired by Donald Trump. The only questions on a Trump job application are, do you do crimes and want to do more? Well, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, seen here watching a child fall into the gorilla enclosure. McConnell has agreed to a deal to temporarily raise the debt ceiling through early December. And then at that point, it'll be almost Christmas, and McConnell will be busy going around to Toys for Tots bins and gluing them shut. It was announced...
Do you get it?
Yeah, okay. It was announced... It was announced that Mountain Dew's Baja Blast is being converted into a new alcoholic seltzer, which is then being converted into your third DUI. The Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. has been sold for a reported $375 million. Well, I wouldn't say reported, said the IRS. A member of the punk rock group Pussy Riot, which has long protested Vladimir Putin, revealed that she fled the country disguised as a food delivery worker, which explains this notification from DoorDash. And Grandma, if you're watching, go to bed. Lego has announced the release of its largest set ever, a 9,000-piece replica of the Titanic. Unfortunately, hundreds of those pieces are just frozen Irishmen. I just have to say, you know, in general, I don't really believe in conspiracies because as a member of the Illuminati, I know that we, the lizard people, control everything. And it's really hard to believe that Trump was so oblivious that he didn't notice his good friend was running an international pedophile ring. Though I guess Trump is the one guy on earth who thinks YMCA is a straight anthem. The creator of Full House is selling his Beverly Hills mansion, which was built on the site of a Manson family murder. Wow, it is crazy to think that house has connections to a sick, twisted criminal. I'm sure she's fine. Do you get it? Researchers have observed a nearly 60-foot-tall rogue wave off the coast of British Columbia, which is the largest ever recorded. Researchers believe the wave was generated when Yo Mama fell overboard. Delta Airlines said that this winter's COVID surge cost them more than $400 million in canceled flights after 8,000 employees caught coronavirus, which would never happen to Spirit Airlines employees because when you fly Spirit, they keep the windows open. Senator Lindsey Graham, seen here picturing the orgy Madison Cawthorn said that Ketanji Brown Jackson is a person of exceptionally good character, but he would not support her for the Supreme Court. So like many Southern gentlemen, he's comfortable with black folks until they try to move in next door. Walt Disney World removed a man from the park after he waved a Trump 2020 banner on Splash Mountain. The man also demanded to separate the It's a Small World kids from their families. And ironically, the man had snuck into the park through Epcot's Mexico Pavilion. Officials in New Mexico are reopening investigations into the ranch that Jeffrey Epstein owned. And they should have known something was up when Epstein's ranch was all ponies.
Really bumming them out there, Jost. On Friday, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, who testified during President Trump's impeachment trial, was escorted from the White House and fired. Now, you might recall that Vindman received a Purple Heart due to a wound in combat, while Trump has a Purple Heart because his blood type is hamburger grease.
Earlier today, an American fighter jet shot down a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that had been spotted crossing the United States, officially ending history's most complicated gender reveal party. And bad news for China, it's a girl. Chinese officials.
I will say my favorite story in this midterm is Stacey Abrams, who was in a runoff. That's right, she's in a runoff for governor with Republican Brian Kemp. Now, this is a black woman running against a white man in Georgia who's also in charge of the election. That's amazing. That'd be like beating LeBron at home if he was also the ref.
Researchers say they've developed a new way to stitch wounds together using a type of yarn made from human skin. They also say where they got the yarn made from human skin isn't important. Incidentally, yarn made from human skin is what Gritty is made of.
President Trump attacked Michael Cohen for pleading guilty to lying to Congress, calling him a weak person. Oh, really? What gave that away? His chin? Doesn't Donald Trump realize everyone he hires just ends up leaving him or getting fired or locked up? Oh, honey, it's you. He picks counsel like my cousin Tasha picks baby fathers. And finally, a new documentary that analyzed Adolf Hitler's DNA shows he suffered from a disease which leads to lower testosterone levels, undescended testicles, and a micropenis, traits inherited by his secret grandson.
Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme is running a promotion offering a dozen donuts for $4.11, which is the average price for a gallon of gas. But that's counterproductive because now your car is going to have to work even harder to drag your fat ass around.
A California ranch once owned by Ronald Reagan is being threatened by a large wildfire. Crews are hoping to put out the blaze by pouring water onto a nearby hill and hoping it trickles down.
Astronomers say that they have discovered what they are calling a dark galaxy after they got off the wrong exit in Atlanta. Gen Z icon Kyle Rittenhouse is petitioning the court for the return of his rifle so he can destroy it. I don't know, careful, Kyle. Trying to get your memorabilia back is how they finally got OJ.
An Australian rancher says that I got a job to do. An Australian rancher says that a 6-foot-tall steer weighing over 1 ton is too big to go to the slaughterhouse. Yeah, me too, said 3 cows in a trench coat.